Hi everyone. Today the lecture is focused on thesis statements. Now, I know a lot of you are feeling a little bit nervous about writing a thesis statement. The committee that's over this class and is over all the rhetoric classes has requested that this class have one essay or one assignment that includes a thesis. And I made the decision that this assignment include a thesis because I think there's a lot of ways that we can structure our thesis statements that fits in well with the interviews that you're doing. And hopefully after I go through this and go through this assignment and this page, that'll make a lot more sense to you on what we're doing. So a thesis statement is the overall argument. What are you arguing? So if we think about like fact or observation, like I can say to you, the sky is blue. Well, people aren't going to argue with me about whether or not the sky is blue. Now, obviously, it's an overcast day, then maybe they will. But bright, sunny, summer day, fall day, whatever here in North Carolina, um, the sky is blue. In general, the sky is blue. Now, if I said to you, cats make better pets than dogs, are you going to argue with me? Well, you might if you like dogs better than cats. You might argue with me and go, nope, nope, nope. Dogs make better pets than cats. And I go, nope, cats make better pets than dogs. And honestly, quite frankly, I don't care either way because I don't have either one. But just to give you an example, so you want something that there's an argument, that you are making an argument that someone else might disagree with you, but you're putting forth information to prove your point. So the very easiest way to write a thesis statement is to have a statement and then say maybe three reasons why. You'll notice on the examples I give you, very few are written that way because you're really focusing on the writing and almost comparing and contrasting those two interviews that you found. So the example though that I have here is thesis. People are choosing dogs as pets, or I could say dogs make the best pets because dogs are friendly, active, and loyal. Okay, so there'd be my three reasons why, and then my essay, I would have paragraphs on them dogs being friendly, dogs being active, and dogs being loyal. Okay, so a thesis is really that you're taking a stand rather than you're just announcing a statement of fact. So you're making this argument. Again, you can see an announcement is the thesis of this paper is dogs as pets. Well, that's not true because you're making an argument about dogs. You're saying they're better pets than pretty much anything else. We could say specifically dogs better than cats or just dogs are better as cats. So then we've got a thesis here that goes along with that is choosing a dog as a pet is a decision made by people that are looking for a pet that can run with them, give them plenty of love, and likes to engage with them. Okay, so here we've got this is my argument. Again, though, you can make the argument, hey, no, that's not true. Dogs are people who are looking for a pet that can run with them. Maybe they'll give them plenty of love. Have you met a cat that likes to snuggle, right, or a bird or whatever, or likes to engage with them? You could say a lot of different pets that as well. So there's definitely some argumentative elements there that you're making an argument that someone else might not agree with. So let's start looking at these 9 thesis statements that I put that are thesis statements that people who have done this essay before in this class wrote. And these are possibilities. And you may find that one of these that you really like, how one of these is structured, and you want to use that for your essay, you are more than welcome to. I've included all of these because you're welcome to use them as examples. You're welcome to use them as I would say most of you are not going to use them as they are written, but you can definitely use them as examples and then modify that to best fit with what you need it to fit with. So number one, writing is important to people who are managers because they need to know how to email corporate, fill out forms, and revise group writing. So if this was my thesis, then I would know in that essay I'm going to have emails. I'm going to have paragraphs about emailing corporate. I'm going to have paragraphs about filling out forms, and I'm going to have paragraphs about revising group writing. Your thesis is the most important part of your essay, and absolutely everything has to go back and connect back to that thesis. So this would be a situation where you interviewed two people who said very similar things, and as you were reading over what you got in your answers, sorry about that, you'll find that they're very, very similar. Okay, writing is important. Number 2, writing is important to the legal profession but the amount and type of writing varies from business lawyers to criminal lawyers. Okay, so we've got that writing is important. There's our statement, but we're going to find out here that business lawyers and criminal lawyers are going to have very different types of writing. So we're going to see in this essay some division here. So there'll be some explanation and analysis about business lawyers, some about criminal lawyers. Maybe they'll compare and contrast. 3, journalists, so like newspaper people who are in newspapers need to have good writing skills because their job is focused on writing. Yes, let's hope so. Again, so you're in this essay, you're going to see that the whole essay is going to be focused on the 2 journalists, the 2 newspaper people, this person, sometimes anyway, that this person has interviewed. 4, education is extremely important in developing the essential writing skills necessary in working in the police field of work. So here we get a little bit different. Less on writing, we're starting out with education is important, and then we get into that it's going to be about police officers. So then they'll have their 2 interviews, and they'll make their arguments about what the police officers, what they had to say about education being important, as well as what's writing, the importance of writing. And so that's where that one's going. 5, literacy skills are important for police officers to have, but those skills are very different for a captain and a patrol officer. So then we got a split here. Obviously, that person interviewed a captain, interviewed a police officer, patrol officer, found that they do different things. And so in that argument, in that essay, you're going to get both sides, as well as what they wrote about in terms of literacy, reading, and writing skills. 6, teachers write a lot regardless of whether they're elementary school teachers or high school teachers. So then we know that they write a lot, teachers do. So obviously this person interviewed an elementary school teacher and a high school teacher that said similar things, or maybe they said very different things, but they were united that they write a lot, and they do. I'm a former high school teacher, and absolutely, you write a lot in the teaching and the education in the profession. So then this person would write about elementary, high school. There's a lot of ways of organizing it, and I have a video that I'll post soon about how to organize it, as well as a document posted. Now, one thing I should mention on a thesis statement that I didn't mention before is the thesis statement. You have your introduction, whatever that may be, and then your thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction. It has to be the last sentence of the introduction, and I will add that to this. Okay, 7. Writing is essential for a speech pathologist, both for students and professionals. So in this case, I know this person has interviewed a student as well as someone who is a speech pathologist, and then they are comparing and contrasting the writing that's done for those 2. 8, writing as a dental hygienist is very different than the types of writing that students in college who are studying to be dental hygienists do. Okay, again, so we've got a student and a professional, and the different types of writing that they do, and that will be compared and contrasted within the essay. 9, although there are a few similarities, the reading and writing used in the field of psychology is very different than that used by a graduate student. So then we've got someone, again, we have a psychologist, a therapist, and then we have a grad student, someone who's studying to become one. And you're going to compare and contrast the reading and writing that are done in those fields. So this is really, as you can tell, this is like the general overall umbrella argument that you are making in your essay, and it will be the last sentence of your introduction. But it's super, super important because everything will connect back to that one. So please read over these and think about if you could take one. Is one kind of fit with what you're doing? Maybe you interview 2 people that have made very different comments. So then you want to look at one of these that talks about things differently. That, writing is important, but so and so have different forms of writing, and then you do that compare contrast within it. So read over these, and you can use these as your base to write your own. If one of them will fit to what you wrote about, you're welcome to use it. Adapt it how you want. All of these 9 are open, or write your own, but just have this, know this is how I want this thesis structured. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please email me, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Thanks so much, everyone.